Hello beautiful people, hope you're well. No, you're not kidding yourself, it is my face. I'm back. I'm so excited to be with you today to talk to you about fitness, my journey with my eating disorders, and 3 tips for all of you lovely beautiful people to take away today. So without further ado, let's get the video started.
Every little thing, everything will be alright. Every little thing, everything will be alright.
Okay guys, so as I said before, I will be talking about my testimony today. So if you don't know what testimony is, it is just simply another way to say my life story as a Christian. And so yes, I will be talking about Christian stuff. I will be putting faith in there because if you did not know already, it is a massive part of my life. It's who I am, it formed my decisions, and it's part of the journey with my eating disorder. So if you don't want to hear it, that's okay. You can skip on to the tips and the advice, but I really would encourage you to stop for a minute and to listen, because it may be beneficial to you even if you're not on that spiritual journey yourself. And so with that said, I had my eating disorder from the age of about 14 and a half, maybe to 17. I'm not very good with time difference, but I know I definitely had it for at least 2.5 years of my life, and I had bulimia. But unfortunately, I have probably struggled with body dysmorphia, and I say probably because again, dates, times aren't brilliant, since the age of 10. That's the first time I could recognise me hating my body. And it really came from the fact that I've always been a tall girl. I'm 5'8", so I'm not massive, but at the same time I've always been tall growing up, and so that gave me a difference. I was distinguished in the crowd, you could definitely see all the kids like this, and then I was like that. So that was anxiety, and that brought up emotions and tension. And then of course I'm bigger built than some girls. Now you may say I'm different now, and I would maybe agree with you. I was never fat, but I was different. And so I could recognise that, I could see that, and that's probably where that identity, I don't want to say crisis, but issues extended from. And so with that said, I got to the teenage stage. I was late to puberty anyway. I didn't really start my periods until I was 15. Sorry, this might be a little bit TMI. I should have preferenced that, but come with me on this. So I didn't start my periods until I was 15, and then because of my eating disorder and my bulimia, I stopped. So I basically started and stopped, and it didn't go anywhere from there. And so I remember getting to the age of 17, and that's where I can see the defining moment in my faith with God, where I was professing to be a Christian. I believed about Jesus Christ. I knew that that was important in my life, but even though I was saying it outwardly, inside I was crushed, I was broken, and I really just needed God to just take that wheel, but I just didn't know how to tell him. And so I just remember getting to a point where I was sitting my A-levels, I had passed my ASs barely, and I got back into school to do my final year before university, and I just remember feeling so ill, so sick, and just being like, God, I feel so crap, I feel so low, so suicidal. Just take it off me. Just take this burden. I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to die. But I don't know how to release myself from this, but you can, and I believe in your power, and I believe that you'll help me. So I just kind of gave it over to God, and my sister and I are not close. Can I just preference this? This is just so beautiful how God moves. But I remember my sister coming to me one day and going, Ellie, you're ill. And that just shook me. That just, mic drop on the floor, And I remember going in and just thinking, that's God. That is God audibly talking to me. And so from there, I prayed about it and just slowly kind of came out of recovery. And luckily it was actually the same time as I was doing my Duke of Edinburgh award. So I had to be fit. I had to be healthy, or else I couldn't have done it. I had to eat and not purge because I had to conserve my energy. And so that taught me a lot about body image. It taught me a lot about being confident in your body, how fitness does not mean dieting, and all that culture that we kind of fight against, that we are thrown at really through Instagram and whatever. So I remember coming off my Duke of Edinburgh award, and I just felt so exhausted and yet so happy with who I was for the first time in my life, because I had stopped telling myself that I wasn't enough and started declaring the promises that God had over my life. And one verse that has stuck with me my whole entire life of being a Christian is Hebrews chapter 13 verse 5, and I just wanted to share it with you very quickly. So it says, keep your lives from the love of money and be content with what you have, because God has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. And here's verse 6. So we say with confidence, the Lord is my helper, I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? And so sometimes I look at the Bible and I don't replace it, but I look at how the love of money is an idol. And so I can change verse 5 to say, keep your life, Ellie, free from that addictive state of wanting to harm your identity, and instead be content with who you have been called to be, because God has promised you He will never leave you and He will never forsake you. And so I, Ellie, can say with confidence that the Lord is my helper, I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals, or what can I myself do to me when I have God in control of the way? Yeah, that's kind of the backstory to that journey. If you want me to go into more detail, tell me in the comments. I can do that later. But there is a testimony video. You can go check it out. I should update it, but you can hear more of my story from there. So let's get into the fitness. How did that begin? Well, after Duke of Ed, I went to university, and I remember just kind of coming to my first year and sailing through and thinking, I'm good, I'm maintaining weight, I don't really need to exercise. And then I started the pill. So if you don't know, with the stemming of puberty and eating disorders, in women, when you have an eating disorder, it can stop your period. And so, like I said, I'd only really started my period before my eating disorder had got really bad, and then it had stopped my period. So I had kind of got to the age of about 20 and went to the doctors and was like, I'm not comfortable here. I'm not really having periods, even though I've kind of been off eating disorder for quite a while here. I'm struggling. I really need advice. And so my doctor had decided to send me for tests. Everything came back good as, yeah, great. But I still wanted to see a gynecologist to have a second opinion. And so I went to her and she said, look, she's not concerned, but if I would like to, I could go on the pill and see how that could regulate my periods. And so I did, it did, but this is why the pill is in connection with fitness, because the pill is helpful because you can't lose weight, but you also can gain it very quickly. So maintaining your weight is quite difficult, and mentally that can be a lot to take on. I remember, getting boobs and getting my period and thinking this is incredible and having more hormones in my body and getting used to that. And then I got to a point where I was just like, I just want to get fitter. I don't want to be thin and bony. I just want to be fitter. I just want to be looking more toned. I knew dieting wasn't going to work for me anymore, and I just think dieting culture is ridiculous. So I would just tell everybody, do not diet, just work or just exercise. That's all you need. Long story short, started to exercise at the end of my second year of university, got into a brilliant routine of doing it through YouTube. They're free videos, I talk about her all the time, but I'm going to link Lucy's video down below that you can go and check out her YouTube page. But I did that consistently for about a year and a half, and that's kind of got me into the routine of fitness. And then after about a year and a half, I started on protein. Do not start working out and use protein straight away. Build your body up, friends. We gotta do this right, and we gotta do it well. And so I suppose that is one thing I want to preference. It's not really my first big tip, but it's something I want you to take home today, is you do not need to use protein straight away. And if you're going to use protein, why not try and incorporate it in a way where it's healthy, where it's normal, and it's not like, this massive protein box that comes from goodness knows where that actually may be more damaging for your body than healthy for your body. Use it through food. Use it through different ways. Anyway, let's stop. Let's give you 3 tips. So, number 1, Why are you working out, or why are you wanting to start working out? Where is your head at? That is my first question, because if you're working out for a bikini body, that's brilliant. You can use some of those free YouTuber, people that can get you that in 2 weeks. Or are you trying to make healthier choices that will actually be sustainable and something that you will come back to? Because the biggest thing with fitness is that you can't start it and expect to see the results you want to see. You've got to keep going with it. You've got to keep pushing yourself, not to the extreme, but you've got to have that habit and incorporate that habit into your week in order to maintain that and to see the results you want to see. Number 2, let's use that protein. Let's put it in here. Don't start going to the gym, paying for a gym membership, buying loads of workout gear, putting thousands of pounds / dollars or whatever currency you use into protein shakes, into all these healthy diet things. It won't get you far. You'll just have no money in your bank. So be sensible when you start. And the last thing, number 3, have fun with it. Have fun with it. You do not need to be doing 20 minutes every day. You could do a 10-minute HIIT workout, and it could be the same as spending an hour in the gym. And that's the beauty of workouts. You can do whatever you want, and you do not have to go to the gym. You do not have to do a workout. You could swim. You could walk. You can do whatever you want. The most important thing is that you're getting up, you're getting off your seat, you're getting endorphins running around the body. It's helping you mentally as well as physically. And yeah, you're having fun. So yeah, that's my 3 tips. Number 1, know why you're doing it. Is it for the right reasons? Number 2, do not spend a fortune and do not be silly with it. Just take your time and have, number 3, fun. Okay, I have spoken far too long, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like me to talk about any of those aspects more, whether it's the eating disorder, my story, more tips, I don't know, then go and check it out. And if you want to, you can watch my previous vlogs to see me in action as I do some fitness, and you can follow those YouTube videos as well that I've linked in the video. But until next time, guys, you know the drill. Keep smiling, because your smile is so important. Spread love and not hate in 2021, and I will see all of your beautiful faces very soon for more videos. Bye, guys.
I found peace far beyond all understanding. Let it flow when my mind's under siege. All anxiety bows in the presence of Jesus, the keeper of peace. And peace is pride.